Mary Meeker's Internet Trends of 2015 are out. Snapchat doesn't want an Apple Watch app just yet, and why CBS hasn't signed up for Apple's TV service yet either. It's Wednesday, May 27th, and this is Crunch Report. Today's a fun day for anybody who likes to talk about internet numbers. Every year, Mary Meeker, who's a partner at VC firm Kleiner Perkins Caulfield & Byers, publishes her Internet Trends Report, which is exactly what it sounds like, but still eye-opening. Her latest Trends Report for 2015 contains 197 slides, and don't worry, we're not going to go through them all right now, but there are some highlights. For example, 2.8 billion people, or 39% of the world's entire population, everyone on Earth, is now on the internet. 39% of those people, which is not even half, but hey, that's staggering compared to just a few years ago, right? Biggest single market online? I'll give you one guess. China. In the US, the average American adult spends 5.6 hours a day on the internet. That sounds really low if you work here at TechCrunch, but it does show how industries have shifted online, along with an increased time spent on mobile devices. Of those mobile users, which is about 24% of Americans online, only 8% of all ad spend coming from companies is going to mobile. So that's not only a missed opportunity, but some foreshadowing for sure. Mobile will get more crowded with ads. Go where the money is, right? As for user-generated content, that's another big money market. Year over year, Pinterest pin creation is up 75%. Twitch video broadcasts are up 83% to over 11 million per month. Airbnb reviews up 140%. And 65% of Snapchat's 100 million daily users create content every day. Our full gallery of Meeker's best trends are, of course, on TechCrunch.com. Speaking of TechCrunch.com, our fearless co-editors Alexia Totsis and Matthew Panzerino are at the Code Conference this week, which obviously looks just terrible. I feel sorry for them on the beach. Here's some interesting news that we're reporting back from the trenches about Apple TV's future. Leslie Moonves, he's the CEO of CBS, said on stage earlier today that he's definitely in negotiations with Apple over its rumored upcoming TV service and has met with Apple's Eddie Q, but that an agreement is kind of hung up, or at least was, over money. Moonves also said this about the dying of cable, quote, "The average home has between 100 and 150 channels, but the average home is watching between 14 and 17 of these channels regularly. I think what Apple will offer is a more select group for a lower price." Kind of where everything's going, isn't it? Moonves also said that an Apple TV service would also work within its normal affiliate network, and CBS would give a cut of whatever base rate Apple provided to it to those affiliates. A new piece of Apple TV hardware is rumored to be launching at Apple's WWDC conference here in just a couple of weeks. Also on stage at Code Conference this week, Snapchat CEO Evan Spiegel had this to say about an upcoming Apple Watch app. No. Not yet, anyway. He said, quote, "We ended up waiting to do Snapchat on the watch. Why would you look at a small picture when you can look at a large one on your phone?" Spiegel says that instead, Snapchat will focus on three things going forward: camera and photo editing tools, communications, messaging, and content. The company now has 330 employees, and in the past 18 months has launched stories, chat, live video, and discovery features. It also now stands at about $20 billion valuation, so the fact that Snapchat doesn't think that it needs an Apple Watch app right now, that's worth taking seriously. Over to Android devices for a second. Google Search has also showed relevant content from apps that are installed on users' phones and tablets for a couple years now. Now, it's iOS's turn, and not just for already installed apps, but apps that the user might find helpful based on what they're searching for. Last month, Google started showing results from Android apps the same way, and it's working pretty well. Now, Google can't exactly know all the apps that you have installed on your system because it's not going to be able to pull system-level info like that from an iOS app. So it's working with an initial set of partners instead, and has also laid out instructions in a blog post for other developers to get their apps included in Google's indexing. They have to do a few things: add deep linking support, then make sure it's possible to return to search results with one click, and provide deep annotations on their site. Even then, Google will still be able to pick and choose the publishers that they want to work with. The first wave of apps it's partnered with will roll out in the next few weeks. If you read TechCrunch regularly, and I hope that you do, you probably know what Crunchbase is. It's a data platform for the startup community that gives tons of background on companies and founders and where all the money's flowing. Recently, Crunchbase pulled data on all US startups in a period that it has data on from 2009 to 2014 and identified the founders for each startup and also identified their genders, or did their best to anyway. Of those 14,341 US-based startups that received funding, 15.5%, or 2,226, have at least one female founder. Okay, compare that to 2009 though, when just 9.5% of startups had at least one woman founder. The rate has almost doubled to 18%. At the same time, the absolute number of companies, and that's along with the total number of startups, with a female founder more than quadrupled from 117 in 2009 to 555 in 2014. As for which city claims the most female founders, that is New York City, 21% of all 374 startups there, while Las Vegas has the highest percentage of female founders, 26%, but also has much fewer startups overall, just 58, at least in Crunchbase. Now, there are a lot more questions that you might have about all of this data. Which colleges do most female founders come from? What percentage of female founders are in technical roles? Which venture and seed investing firms have the most women founders in their portfolios? Crunchbase will explore all of that and update its reports in the coming weeks. If you want them to focus on anything in particular, you can tweet them at Crunchbase on Twitter. And that is the report for today. I'm Sarah Lane. Crunch Report airs Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on TechCrunch.com. We will see you tomorrow.